Hey, Algebra 2 students, I'm just realizing that I gave you guys this problem on your homework. From homework 213, this is 2-36, and we have not really talked about this yet, so I don't want you to freak out. I'm going to do a couple with you, and hopefully you'll have time to watch this video, because this will really help, and you probably know how to do this. It's just a matter of learning kind of the new process you're going to use. So this is problem 2-36. Letter A says it gives you the equation in the form y equals x minus 3, x minus 11. So realize that that is already in what we call factored form, and that should be on your foldable from the other day in class. So in factored form, all we have to do to find the x-intercepts is we have to take the two values that are given to us, so the x minus 3 and the x minus 11, and we're going to make them equal 0 like this. So x minus 3 equals 0, x minus 11 equals 0, and then I'm just going to solve for x, right? So the sign's going to end up being the opposite in the actual answer. And that answer is the x-intercept. And because it's a parabola, it can cross the x-axis twice, right? So I'm going to show you that visually in just a second. Hold tight. So if oh gosh, sorry, I made a mistake here. That's 11, not 3 on that one. So plus 11, make sure you're actually canceling out that number. And so 3 and 11 are the x-intercepts. So if you were thinking of it graphically, right? It'd be a parabola that opens up because there's no negative sign in front here, right? So because there's no negative, I know that it's going to cross, I'm just going to do a rough sketch, at 3 and 11. And my vertex is going to be somewhere between those, but I don't know exactly where. So for now, I'm just going to put it right here, and I'm going to draw my parabola with my x-intercepts, right? Which is where it touches or crosses the x-axis at 3 and 11. So those of you who are visual, hopefully that's helping you to see it. So what we're trying to find when we find the vertex, you guys remember, is the lowest or highest point. So right here, that's your vertex. Okay, now the method that they're wanting you to use on this is averaging those x-intercepts. So visually, again, if you look at the picture, if one x-intercept is here and one is here, that vertex is halfway between, which we can find by just taking the average, which is adding them together like this. So my x was 3 and my x was 11. I'm going to average them. So I'm going to go 3 plus 11 divided by 2. This is going to find my x value of my vertex. So that's 14 divided by 2, which is 7. So I'm halfway there. I know if I go back to my graph that at 7, right, that's going to be my x value of my vertex right there. So this ordered pair is going to be 7 comma something, right? So, oops. Let me go back to this. So I'm going to go ahead and put my vertex is going to be 7, comma, I don't know what y is going to be. So that's what we have to find now. So what you can do is go back to your original equation, which was this y equals x minus 3, x minus 11. So let me rewrite that for you. Y equals x minus 3, x minus 11. And now I know that I want to find my y value when my x value is 7, right? So right here, I'm going to substitute a 7 in for my x's, right? So actually, I'm just going to erase since I can. And I'm going to change these right here. Instead of x's, I'm going to put 7. So 7 and 7. And then you're just going to simply simplify it. 7 minus 3 is 4 times 7 minus 11 is negative 4. So my y value, when my x value is 7, is negative 16. So there's your vertex, done, right? Okay, so hopefully that helps. Let me do one more where it is not factored for you and you actually have to factor it. And I'm going to go kind of quick on this one. So if you're good, you can just stop watching. If you need one more, here we go. It's letter C, and it's y equals x squared minus 14x plus 40. Okay, so notice this is not in factored form. So we could either change it to vertex form, but you haven't really learned how to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is see is it's going to factor, right? So I'm going to change it so it's in parentheses like this. And then remember, x squared is x times x. And then we look at this last term. Don't worry, we're going to go over factoring again real soon. Positive 40. So numbers that multiply to give me 40 would be 4 times 10, 8 times 5, 2 times 20, and I think that's it. Now, the number we're trying to get when we add them is that number in the middle, that negative 14. So which of these sets of numbers would give me 14 when I combine them? It's the 4 and the 10, right? So I'm going to put 4 and 10 here. And then because it's negative, they both have to be negative. Then when I multiply them, it's still that positive 40 that I want, okay? If you're not remembering factoring, don't sweat it. Hopefully this is helping, and don't worry, we're going to go over it real soon. Okay, now I need to get my x-intercepts, right? So my x-intercepts, remember, I get from solving both of these set equal to 0. So x minus 4 equals 0, and x minus 10 equals 0. And then I'm just going to cancel it out and solve for x. So plus 4 on this one. So x is going to be 4 for one of them, and plus 10 for this one. X is going to be 10 for the other, right? So visually, once again, they're over on that right side. Still opening up because the x squared, remember we learned the a value is not there, so it means it's positive. So it's opening up. So it's going to cross the x-axis at 4 and 10, and my vertex is going to be somewhere in the middle here, right? So some of you may already be able to go, okay, well, halfway between 4 and 10, I think I actually know what that number is. It's going to be 7. But if you need to do it, you can simply average them. So x value of the vertex, 4 plus 10 divided by 2 equals 7. 14 divided by 2. So same as the other one, right? So that's 7, comma. And then I want to find my y value by going back to this and plugging it in. Or you can use the factored one, right? So I'm going to use the factored one just because I feel like it's a little bit faster. And I'm going to substitute my 7 in place of my x's. So 7 minus 4 times 7 minus 10, right? So that's coming from this right here, guys, this factored form. And I'm plugging in the 7, that's the x value of my vertex right there, right? And I want to find what's the corresponding y value. So 7 minus 4 is 3. 7 minus 10 is negative 3. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. So that means this guy, this vertex right here, is down at 7, negative 9. And I hope that helps. See you soon.